New York City Knicks and Nets fans, let's talk a little basketball. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you. New York City, I don't want to falsely report that we are in basketball crisis, but we are in basketball crisis, New York City. But you know what I choose to do? When I face the crunch, when the path starts to look a little rocky and the sun is beating down on you and you feel like the pressure is tight, that's when you got to perform. I've watched these last two Nets basketball games, and you have to tell yourself what you have to tell yourself to get by. I wish me and the team could take a time out, because I watch this and some of the it's mixed emotions. Like, I'm watching these games and feeling two completely different things. The first thing I'm feeling, and I try to let that encompass what overall drives my emotions, but I am a human. And humans have this tendency to focus on the bad. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is about us. Something in our evolution which made us pay more close attention to what can possibly kill us. And even though in modern times we don't have use for this instinct, it still governs a lot of our thinking. And for some reason, I am driven by this fear that, and it's the worst thing that could potentially ever happen to the Nets. And it's that the Nets are mediocre. Now, in the off season, if you follow me on Twitter, and most of the listeners is people that follow me on Twitter and talk basketball, so it's not a big audience, but I take my little 500 downloads and feel excited that I'm talking to a large group of New York City basketball fans, primarily about the specific topic that I want. Like, maybe if I did just straight up NBA, it would be better, but I wouldn't feel as passionate as I do about this Knicks and Nets therapy session. Like, I feel like as a podcast, I probably would do better if I focused on the Nets. But I would find that very uninteresting when really the people we know and the people around us talk both. And so if we're going to have an intelligent conversation about either team, we should know both. Again, that's the luxury of living in the city. We're in close proximity to so much that we get two bites of the apple, so to speak. See what I did there? But in looking at what I'm seeing with the Nets, and if you're a Knicks fan, you're probably saying, are you fools? You guys are playing okay. I'd rather be the Nets than be the Knicks. And listen, I would never trade places with the Knicks. But there's a part of me that says, if we're just going to be mediocre, then we could have just stayed the other team. Like, we could just kept everything the way that it is and kept on going and dipping into the lottery well and hoping that somehow, some way, the 1 in 70 chance, because players like LeBron and Kobe and Kevin Garnett, like these upper level superstars that when you plug them into your team, you have a chance to win. Someone like Kevin Durant, which is, kind of the reason why all of this is happening. Like as I look at the team, I feel like I'm looking at sustained mediocrity. I walked past Barclays Center the other day. I stopped in those atrocious Bed-Stuy jerseys. I had to buy one. Why? My 7-year-old is a very proud resident of Bed-Stuy. He identifies with his neighborhood. He knows where he lives. He's happy to tell someone. And he saw the jersey and he was like, yo, I want that. I was like, nah. You don't want that cultural appropriation on your chest. You don't want corporatized street art emblazoned on your chest. You don't want that pop art on you. And he was like, no, Dad, I do. So I guess as much as I hate those jerseys and I feel offended by them, I had to go cop one. And in my travels, I walked past this monolithic ode to Kyrie-ness. An entire Brooklyn building basically turned into a pop-up for the Kyrie sneaker. I mean, it looked amazing. It looked like if Darth Vader, or no. If Darth Maul, and I know many of you aren't familiar with nerdy Star Wars stuff, but Darth Maul, the guy with the double-bladed lightsaber with the horns coming out his head, red and black, if he had a base of operations in Brooklyn, it would be Kyrie's building. Building looks like something someone from the dark side would concoct. But if I'm a human being and something is erected with me emblazoned on the side of it, what am I doing? I've done it already. And I'm sure Kyrie has a lot of things he wants to achieve. He's here to win. He's here to win. But it's hard to be having temples and erected to your worship, both spiritually and commercially. Spirit converted into a commercial opportunity. An entire building. Smart people who know how to crank dollars decided we are going to put a pop-up shop dedicated to the Kyrie athletic line in Brooklyn, across the street from the stadium. Across the street from the arena. I'm Haitian. Excuse me. And it's going to look like some prequels, Jedi era Star Wars shit. Crazy. And I asked myself, is that going to play a part in why the Nets remain mediocre? There's a feeling on the team right now is that, and I don't know, tweet at me, Eve Darbouz at me, or hit me with at the front office podcast, Twitter, which I haven't done a good job helping it grow, but because it's like there's some people who follow me for completely different reasons, and if you just want to be informed about the show or whatever, you should follow that handle as well. But no biggie if you don't. I don't want to fake I don't want to fake necessity. I think I just want to carry on the basketball conversation. And this is a therapy session. Like I said, this is my NBA Nets therapy session where I just need to purge. There's a lot of bad basketball happening. The Nets' talent is very top heavy. And that's what scares me. There's a rumor going around because people notice the Nets' mediocrity, and that's the worst place to be as a team, is to be mediocre. Because I don't even think that they're mediocre by design or that they attempted to be better. I think this year is just one big scrimmage to the Nets organization. Everything has gone backwards in lieu of next year. Now, I know everyone's going to say I'm crazy. If I had to bet money, I wouldn't bet money that this was true. But the idea pervades in my mind enough and appeals to my logic centers and says this is a very possible thing that could have happened. I think the Nets are a different team right now. I think this is all right, we'll see what happens season. Guys, I don't think Sean Marks makes a move until after Kevin Durant comes back. Like these stories about, Spencer Dinwiddie getting traded, him being moved on. The one that's out there right now is Magruder in Philly for Spencer Dinwiddie. Why would we want to give Philly a ring? Now, if it helps us, it makes the Nets better and closer to getting the ring. Why would we want to give Philly a ring? The Philly gets Spencer Dinwiddie, it's over. That's how good Spencer Dinwiddie is. Spencer Dinwiddie fixes all the... Well, no. They would also need a shooter. They'd need to get Shamet back or something. Like, that's the other thing that's killing. And it's not that Spencer can't shoot the three. He can. But they need a Joe Harris type. The Nets need to make a trade. But that's ridiculous. Spencer Dinwiddie is a couple of levels better than Magruder. Magruder is an amazing defender. He's a guy that you could throw at any major wing, and he's not going to stop them. He's not in the level of like a Paul George or Kawhi Leonard playing perimeter defense. He's very good, but he's not on the level of, like, I'm going to carry. If you put Magruder on the Nets right now with everything, all of this craziness that's happening to the team, they're challenging the Knicks for second to last place right now. They probably have 9 wins. Spencer Dinwiddie would never be traded for that type of player. Right. And I don't think the Nets would ever feel like they have enough guards. Right now, the Nets do not have enough guards. And the reason why I was going into that diatribe about Kyrie Irving, it's just that if Kyrie Irving came out next year and said, you know what, I don't want to do basketball anymore. I'm moving to Tibet, or me and my girlfriend, we want to just start a hemp,